Alright, so I really don't know how much time I have before my family gets back home because simply they don't want to be on camera. My name is Saran Coulter and I really want my garden, my YouTube channel to be about gardening, foraging, urban homesteading and all that jazz because we've been looking into this whole homesteading movement and it was like maybe 10-15 years ago when we started on this journey, and at this point in our lives we are currently not there. We are still renting and it really sucks, but our family has been making steps towards getting onto a homestead, and I believe that with this channel I can just share with you guys the progress that we've been making, at least what I'm doing specifically, because I don't think they want that kind of information out there. But what is it I'm doing specifically to help get us to that goal, to eventually moving on to some land and just getting this whole homestead thing started. So that was a lot. And here's the thing, there's so many things that you can learn when it comes to getting started with homesteading, right? The main thing that you'll see in any book, in every book concerning homesteading, is gardening. You gotta know how to garden. If you don't know how to garden, how are you gonna survive? How are you gonna eat? That kind of thing. So the building block of most homesteading is literally begins with that. And we started gardening years ago, right? And geez, I gotta make sure to keep all the personal information out of the screen as well, so I have to be very careful how I do this. Alright, there's a lot of things that you can learn when it comes to homesteading, but the major thing that you want to get down packed first and foremost is this. If you can't do that, if you can't grow your own food and sustain yourself off of what it is you can grow, then what are you even doing thinking about trying to go into a homestead? Now, this is what I like to say my mother's garden or my father's garden, because that's all of them, right? If I can get this thing to focus, pretty much we got tomatoes and stuff growing. Ooh, that's nice. So we got tomatoes and stuff growing in this bed. Of course, a whole lot of strawberries, because strawberries. But that's not what I want to show you. Now, sometime last year, I want to say it was June, actually. Yeah, it was actually June of last year. I ended up talking to my neighbor across the alley concerning growing some food over there. And he was completely okay with it because he seen our garden. He was like, man, that's really nice. You guys keep it clean and organized. And I was like, yes. So he definitely allowed me to start my own garden over here as well. And this is what I've been working on. The research garden plot. Literally just taking all the skills that I learned from my mother as far as gardening is concerned and applying them here. Now, this is like a really simple garden, actually. It's, I believe, 33 feet long, and it's now, I think, about 8 feet wide. Last year it was about 6 feet on purpose, but due to the soil lowering down and thinning out a bit, it started moving out that direction, and now it's about 8 feet wide. So that's kind of crazy. But to get started, what we got growing over here, besides all the amaranth, because that's completely unwanted, but last year's carrots are going to seed, and that's really nice. I like that. Several heads of it, and I need to actually start getting, I think this can wait a few more days, but definitely when it starts to close up like this, I want to start grabbing at that, making sure I preserve the seeds. Now, those were white carrots, not your normal orange ones that you get from the store. Now, all this is some peppers. Besides, again, that's a flower that's trying to come back up, I believe. But some peppers, more peppers, amaranth, my bad. Red clover, which, why? It's nice, though. It has medicinal purposes, so, I might keep it. But more peppers, and then we have this. The wonderful sprawling watermelon that's literally going and invading onto actually some of my pepper plants. You see this? All this right here, the fight between the peppers and the watermelon. I have to train them because I didn't really plan this out super well, but when I started it, most of the plants itself, the seeds, I started on this end. So roughly, I want to say about 10 feet away from the peppers. And they've just been growing in this direction and growing and growing and growing. And now I have to start training them to go into this empty space where we got this amaranth growing right behind. I think I'm training it to go right into this spot. And then the rest that is trying to sprawl out this direction, trying to train it to go backwards towards that gate, because my neighbor still does park his vehicle here. He does have friends and stuff that comes over, so I have to leave some room for them as well, because it'd kind of be rude to just let this just whoo and just do its thing, right? Now, all the stuff that I do grow, I do share a portion up with it with my neighbor, simply because that was the agreement. It was a verbal agreement between me and him. I asked, he said yes, and the wife was like, hey, can we still get a part of it? I was like, you know what, why not? It's your land, it's my time, energy, effort, water, seeds, and everything else. Why not? You can still get a portion. So he's been enjoying the radishes. Now crazy thing is, I want to say last year too, I was wanting to start a microgreen business, and I chose red arrow root radish. No, red arrow, my bad. Red arrow radishes and some like sunflowers and some other things that I was going to be selling. Now I got this like 5-pound bag of seeds and grew some of it, tried it, and I personally didn't like it, so I messed up there. Instead of buying in small packs, I bought this huge pack thinking I was going to save me some money and just say, skip it, I'm choosing this and I'm going to run with it. And that didn't work out, and I didn't even continue on that business anyway, simply because there was some other regulations that when I went to the office, they said that they had to come over to the house and inspect it, kind of ordeal to, just to see if everything was compliant with safe eating and all that jazz. So because of all that, we weren't going to move forward with that business. So I just now had all this seed, and I started growing radishes. And I didn't know, because I don't think I had a straight answer when I was Googling it. But like, is it possible to turn a microgreen seed into a full plant? And I don't see why not. I didn't think about it all the way through when I was Googling all this, but of course, in case you was wondering, yes, you can. It can grow to a full plant. So if you find some seeds that say this is microgreen seed, it's pretty much just the seed from the plant. It's nothing different. I just found that out. But nevertheless, besides all that, because the radishes actually was next to the tomatoes on that side. My finger's blurry as shit. But now I pulled them out and they're dying. We got a few seed heads on there. So tomatoes, and then we got carrots, watermelon, peppers. Here's a sweet corn that I gathered from somebody else's garden actually, and then just replanted it here, and that's doing really well. Somebody had brought my dad some onions actually that he bought from the store, and he didn't want it, and so he was asking if we would like it just because he was looking at our garden, because some people came over here to do some work on the concrete or on the gravel and stuff. They were installing something, so the guy gave us some onions, and I put it in the ground, and now it's starting to go to seed. So you have full onions from the store, hey, you can go and get yourself some seeds out of it. But sweet corn, in between all of that, we have some beans that I put in here just to help the corn, I guess. I just wanted something to fill in the space, while the watermelons at first, they weren't looking like they were doing anything. So I put some beans here, and then they just started coming up. Some Japanese beetles has been getting to it, so that kind of sucks, but I didn't really expect to get beans out of it. I was just wanting it for the sake of what it'll provide the corn with. So that's all cool. That, and we got two more things over here. First, we got the lonesome sunflower plant that's been coming up here. Now, this is an interesting sunflower plant simply because I want to say I harvested seed for this about maybe 3 years ago. And when I went to go plant it, I had maybe about 2 pounds worth of seeds. And I just been trying over and over and over in this area. Nothing came up. Literally just I was soaking the seeds like I learned for microgreens and throwing them in the ground and trying it dry and watering consistently and nothing. And the only one that came up is this. So if I get any black oil sunflower seeds out of this, you know I'm going to be saving it for the sake of the oil itself. I don't really eat sunflower seeds like that, so I might not keep it for snacking, but I'll share it with my neighbors. And then lastly, we have Indian corn. Now this is like an ornamental, I think like a red, orange, and a blue type of ordeal going on here. But that Indian corn is towering right now. It's kind of crazy. But we got Indian corn, and right next to it, the thinner looking stuff is actually broom corn that I'm growing, and that is doing marvelous. Here's the thing, I've always wanted to do YouTube. YouTube is the platform I started off with, and quite honestly, I can't seem to take myself away from it as far as creating content on it. I did stay away for about maybe 2 years experimenting with TikTok, and it's cool and all. The issue I have with it is that the people that follow you don't ever see your content, so when you upload new stuff, they're never shown it. So what's the point in following the people that you follow? It's kind of like, if you find somebody that you like on your For You page, like them, comment on their stuff, and then repeat that process. Maybe even save a video or two, and they'll keep showing you that creator in specific over and over and over again. But as soon as you follow them, it's like all that just disappears. So I didn't really like that. So came back to YouTube. I really want to make this a full-time thing, if not a part-time, because I do work a job. I'm not making any money off of this YouTube channel as of right now. I have like 35 subscribers, which is really cool. I had another account where I was doing filmmaking, and I had 32 subscribers, so I pretty much just beat myself by three new subscribers. So appreciate you guys for following along, because I know y'all was watching for the electrical stuff. Seeing that my last video was the last one I was going to be doing for a while, I really just wanted to get started on everything else that I was going to be doing with this channel. I don't like the way I look so dark. It's probably just the sunset or this camera, because this camera doesn't have, I don't know, I guess it just doesn't know how to make me not look as black as this. It's annoying. You will be seeing me more often. I am still trying to get used to talking to a very large lens and assuming that there's somebody watching. But I know you guys are, you guys, I keep saying that. I'm so used to saying it. My gosh. I know you're watching simply because you leave comments on my videos. I appreciate that. I really love engaging with it. I've always loved engaging with people. I'm just that kind of dude. So, thanks for being here. And as far as this whole making it to the homestead goal is going, I know a crucial part when it comes to that is finances. Not many people talk about the finances it takes to get to the homestead. And if they do, it's usually like 16 ideas on how you can make money doing homesteading. And you're like, you as a non-homesteader, or me as a non-homesteader, I'm looking at it like, oh man, I could do this and get the money so I can get to the homestead. It's like, realistically, chances are the creators that are making those types of videos haven't done all 16 of those ideas. And if they have, the worst part is that they didn't create the videos showing you in detail how to do it. So with me, I'm hoping that I can make the financial decisions necessary to get me there, but also track it along with you guys so that you can see the entire process all the way through. So how I'm gonna do that, I'm really starting with what I know best, which is just investing money. That is a slow growth over time type of ordeal. So, and saving money, really, something really basic. As far as businesses go, I'm going to be starting some here in the future. What I'm doing, more than likely, is going to be like landscaping stuff, because I already do it for one guy. I'm going to be doing some more for a few other clients here in town. And after that, we'll find out. We'll definitely find out what's going to be going on. I'm probably going to be doing, because one of the things I really want to get into is actually installing gardens for other people, because I noticed there's a lot of people here in town who want to have a garden of their own, but the labor it takes to just get the soil right, get the seeds that are necessary, laying it all out, it's kind of a lot of work for some folks around here, especially the older people. So I think I have a niche here where I can definitely give those people a garden and get them something easy to maintain so that they can just grow food without all that effort needed to, pretty much maintain it. That's it. I will be seeing you in the next video. Hopefully it's gonna be dropping here shortly. I don't know what the content is gonna be, but I'm gonna just keep it going until I find what works.